Hey, what's going on, Dreamers? Hope you guys are having a good day. And today we're going to be looking at how to code cosmetic overrides, which is very easy to code actually, despite what people may think or say. It's very, very easy and takes like 5 minutes to code them, if that even. Now this video is going to be very short, more than a little snippet, because I'm not showing you how to code every single piece of, every cosmetic override. I'm not really even showcasing how to save them to the character files or anything like that. I'm just giving you guys an example of how it's done, and then you guys can build onto it eventually. Or maybe I will just, spoon feed and showcase how to do it, so that way it saves and everything. That way it's just, that way you guys have the full code rather than just half of it. Because I think I mentioned before I was never going to do that. I was always going to give you guys the full code. But anyway, so yes, the code will be down in the description of this video. And as you can see as an example, these actually working. Both characters appear to be without a hat. And this is true on both clients. You can see there's, it just shows up with no hats, no helmets, nothing. But if you look in the equipment tab, you will see that I'm actually wearing a Primal Full Helm. And on this account, I'm actually wearing a Wizard Gold hat. And if you walk out to the wilderness, it appears now that I am actually wearing the full helm. And if you look, just back a little bit, but actually into the wilderness. Let me just zoom out a little bit too, I guess there. See, now you can see I'm also wearing it there as well. So it appears for both people, on both clients, everybody around you as well, and it's area based as well. So out there is the wilderness, which you'll see here in a minute. It is wilderness out here, and both players now are wearing their helmet and hat, and is visible to the other player. Now if one person decides to walk back out of the wilderness, it goes away, and it does that on both. Characters. So therefore I'm no longer wearing it, and it appears that I'm now helmetless. So anyway, that's basically what it is. Now how do you code that? How do you get that magic to work? Well, we're going to code that in real time, because I did before before recording this. I went and I deleted all of the code, so that way we can code it in real time together, so that way you get to learn step by step the process of doing so. So without further ado, no pauses, no edits, just minimizing clients and getting right into the code. Here we go. We start off with the player update method in the player.java class, which is where we are right now. And we have to find out, so for the head object, we have to find out where it's looking for the player hat, which is right here. Again, just the very beginning of the append player appearance update method. So, but before we can do anything like with this, we need to set up some variables first. So let's go ahead and scroll down somewhere. Doesn't matter where. Anywhere you want to put these methods or these variables. Let's just put them down. I don't know. Okay, let's put them down here somewhere, I guess. This works. So name them whatever you want, but we're going to name them just very simple things, like public int cosmetic overrides equals new int, and there's 8 available slots. I mean, you can also use all 12 or 13 whatever equipment slot tabs there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so 11, I guess, but you can use all 11 of them if you wanted to, or you can just go ahead and just do the ones that are most visible. such as the hat, the amulet, the chest, the legs, the boots, the hands, the weapon, the cape, and the shield. I didn't bother with the arrows because you can't see what arrows you're wearing, and the ring, obviously you can't see that either, so there's no point in doing those ones, but the rest of them are very visible to players, so I figured they would be nice to showcase. So anyway, now that we have that, we need to set up a couple more methods such as the getters and setters. So we're going to do public int get cosmetic override, and it's going to be integer slot. It's going to take an int parameter of the slot that you're trying to get, and it's going to return cosmetic overrides slot. That's your first getter. Now the next one you could also just do if you wanted to get all of the cosmetic overrides for a player. Do public int get all cosmetic overrides, and that just simply returns cosmetic overrides. So that's the two getters that we're going to be using. Now we're going to be doing some setters. So public void set cosmetic override and slot. Oops. And then that's going to be just inside of this message. You're going to put cosmetic override slot equals for our parameter and override, because you also need to know what override you're putting. You're setting that to, so that's that. So there's your getters and setters. So that's pretty much done with that. Actually, there's one more thing you can do. If you want to make it very simple for yourself to be able to actually code these, you can set up a couple of integers, such as public int head override, and then set that at 0. Start off with amulets override equals 1. Chest override equals 2. And just pretty much do that for the rest of them as well, like, chest, legs, boots, hands, shield, weapon, that kind of thing. So legs override. Boots override equals 4. Override equals 5. And what are we missing here? I think just weapon, cape, and shield, right? I believe so. That's blue those, right? So, yeah, weapons, cape, and shield. Okay. Weapon override equals 6. Equals 7. And shield override equals 8. And there you go. So now we have some very easy things to work with that. So it helps to name stuff like that because it really makes it easier to code. So now we need to go back up to where this video actually picked up at, which was the very first thing we seen under the append update method, which, if you remember, was up here, right here. So this is saying, is the player wearing a hat or helmet? If they are, it needs to send that data into the client. If not, it just sends basically nothing, so it's just going to show what their head looks like. So the first thing we need to do is actually now see if they're wearing an override. So, and to do that, it's pretty simple. You just use the getters instead that we used before, that we just created, I mean. So the getter was if get cosmetic override, and this is where the naming comes in. Head override is greater than 0. And to make it so it doesn't show up in PvP, you might not have this method, but if you don't, I'll add it in the description as well. You need to create a method in PvP area. If you don't have the method, you need to create the method. But if you already have it, then you don't. You just need to put this down here. So it's going to say, does the player have an override, and are they not in a PvP area? If those two things return true, you're going to basically, instead of sending their hat or helmet, you're just going to send their override. So again, using the getter that we just created, and if they're not using an override, or they are in a wilderness area or a dangerous area, PvP area, or whatever areas you don't want to have a cosmetic override, then just send whatever they're actually wearing. Now that's going to work only halfway. In other words, what if the item is a full helmet or a full mask? Well, that's where you need the second thing to come in, and this also has to happen with player chest as well, and I think that's it. I don't think the legs do that, but anywhere there's not like a full body or a full chest or a full helmet or a full mask option, like a chain body for example, it's not a full body, so you would need that, you would need to work with that, or you would need to code that twice to make it so that it does that, which again, we're going to be showing an example here with the helmet, so follow the same syntax, I guess, if you want to call it that, for the chest or whatever else that you may need to for it to work with them. So again, but what we need to do is now we need to come down to where it's checking the player hat again, which is right here, and we need to do a little bit more coding. And to make this a little more simpler now, we're actually going to add one quick boolean. So boolean has override, and that's going to do, again, using the getter we just created, get cosmetic override, head override, so that boolean's going to return true if the cosmic override for the head override is greater than 0. Now, we have to kind of adjust the way this is coded a little bit. At least that's what we do. So we're just going to take this and we're just going to move it down a little bit and kind of rewrite the code accordingly to fix what we need to fix with it. So first we need to check, does this boolean right here, does that boolean return true? So has helm override, and we need to check a couple more things. First we can check, are they wearing a helmet or hat? And lastly, we need to check, are they in a PvP area, or in an area where we do not want them to have a override. That's the first line of code. The next line underneath that would be to pretty much do the same thing down here, but of course replacing the player equipment with the override. So we can actually just go ahead and pretty much copy that if you want to. So we could just do this. And put an else here. Like that, because now we're going to be doing... Now I'm just checking my notes here, just so that way I don't tell you guys wrong. So give me a minute. Sorry for the pause.
The only thing I regret is not giving you my best. I never really let you in.
Yes, yeah, I did tell you guys wrong. So, yeah, well, I didn't really, but you want to check this, but you want to check their override. So, again, using the getter we just created, get Cosmetic override. So, I think we just need an extra parenthesis there. Yep. And writing the player appearance, else, write 0, and then another else, and now this is where we can just put this inside of that else block and get rid of that. And that's pretty much it for that. So that's just going to now make it so that way if the player if the override is a full helm or not, it'll show the correct appearance rather than having a glitched head or whatever. So pretty much the next thing to do at that point is now we need to go ahead and we need to set the player's override. So as a test, we can go ahead and somewhere in your initialize method, in your client.class, anywhere in here, really doesn't matter, you can just go ahead and set this to whatever you want it to be. I've got to put it on like overrides. Now, if you have bots on your server, if you've coded bots on your server, you want to make sure that you pass a check. Cannot allow this to work for bots, otherwise you'll get a lot of errors because bots don't have a client. Remember that, bots don't have a client, so they can't receive packets. They can't send packets either, so you have to make sure you check all of that. So, I actually have bots on my server, so if this dot is bot, and now I guarantee if we run this code, you'll see that my players will have a Santa hat rather than whatever kind of hat they're actually wearing. I'll be right back when the... Nah, never mind, okay, the server right now. I'm gonna say right back when the server loads up, but just load it up now. So logging in as Matthew for right now, we can see that because I'm in a PvP area, right here for the wilderness, I do not have my Santa hat. Which is fine, that's perfectly normal. I shouldn't because I'm in PvP, at least according to my coding, but there you go. There's my Santa hat. And this does work with, like I said, full helms as well, so if you want to go back and test this some more, you can go ahead and change this to any number you want. So 1153 is an iron full helm, and that's considered a full helmet item, so it should take up the whole head, unlike the Santa hat where it showed the bottom half of your head but not the top half like that. You know, look natural rather. This will make it look natural with an iron full helm as well. At least it should. If it doesn't, there's something wrong, but I guarantee it's not. So, here we go, logging in. Again, I'm in a PvP area still, so my Wizard Gold Trim hat is still going to appear, but as soon as I walk out of the wilderness, it should go to an iron full helm, and there it does. As you can see, it's not glitched by any means. It does show the full helmet. You know, there's no weird glitchy things to it. You know, it doesn't, like, my face doesn't show through it or anything like that. So, as you can see, it worked out pretty well. So, that's how you do that. Now, what if you want to hide their Cosmic Override? You know, so like, well, not hide it, but like, what if you want to hide their appearance or whatever? Well, you just set this number to any number that doesn't actually have an item that has like an equipped model. So, like for example, like a book. Well, like some books do have equipped models, but any item like so like a dwarf multi-cannon, whatever, that object doesn't have an equipped item. You can't equip that item. So if you put it to 2, and we relaunch, you'll see when I log in, I'll have my wizard hat. I'll have my wizard hat, but when I walk out of the PvP area, it will show up as my normal head without a hat or anything like that. So as you can see, the wizard hat's still there. Run out and bam, it's gone. Right there it is. I can take it off, equip it. Still nothing shows up. So that's how you code cosmetic overrides. Now to save them to the player file, we already have it halfway done. So we have the ability to, we're actually going to comment this out because we don't want people to have a override every time they log in. We want people to actually have the ability to set them themselves. But half the battle is already done for us. We have it saved to the player file. We just need to have it saved to the character file now. So in player save, you need to figure out, you need to find where like for example, like where your banking is. Because, again, this is if it's in a text document. If it's in a JSON file, it's a little different, which I'll cover that when I do my Roost version of this coding, which will be up soon as well. But text files are a little different, so you just need to figure out where like something like this is coded. So you need to figure out, okay, so this is case 7, so case 8's down there, 9, 20, okay, blah, blah. Find the read mode, actually. There we go. So we need to find read mode first and find out where the last one is. So 27 looks like. So we copy this, hit paste, and just name this whatever you want. We're gonna do Cosmetic overrides. And keep a note of how many letters that is, or characters. We're going to do that here in a minute. So, but we can do that here in just a second. So case 28, remember, was cosmic override, so we need to do if token dot equal. Basically, we just need to copy this, so we'll just copy that because it's just easier to typing it back out, and then just change what's inside the quotation marks. Cosmetic overrides p dot cosmetic, I mean, overrides. And that's pretty much with that. So that's going to, what this does is, well, first we gotta put a break here. We can't not have a break. We gotta make sure that break is there. So it's going to read the text document, and it's going to set the cosmic overrides to whatever the text document reads. That's step 2 of 3. So the third step is to now write it to the text document. So now we need to figure out, okay, we just basically copied the Xmas version, so let's just find Xmas. There it is. And somewhere in that, underneath it actually, I guess we already have overrides, which is kind of weird. I don't actually remember. I don't remember actually coding these, so this must have been in here for probably a while, actually. Anyway, so ignore this. This is probably something that wasn't actually ever used. I might have been working on something similar to this before and just never finished it and then forgot about it. But anyway, so we want to write basically the same concept as this. So this is 11, so we'll just go from 11. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And because I like to space it out some, we're going to do 2 new lines. And now we have to loop through the length of the cosmic overrides. like so. And now we need to, if the override does not equal 0, well, actually, even if it does equal 0, just write it to this, just write it there anyway. No, don't write it to 0, that's right. If you could still write it here, even if you want to, I guess you can still write it, but see, using that getter again. We could actually be using the setter for this as well, but we're gonna get to that a little bit later. Maybe like a part 2 of this video, because this video is already going on a half hour. So I said it's going to be a short video, but really it's not going to be, because I added a lot to this. Just kind of going with it, winging it rather. So we want to write what the override equals. So we're just going to copy how that's written, and then
of taking breath below the floodline, lungs filled up with the truth of it.
Again, get in the cosmic overrides.
I've got mine. Who are you trying to protect? I know the weight pouring down on me. We're in a rotten place tonight. Feel so vindicated. The last that you wrote, nobody knows. If I run into the fire, will it burn me?
Oh, that's because those were strings. Okay, so yes, so we have to do integer dot toString. And same thing with this. P.get cosmetic overrides. Ooh, excuse me. And integer dot toString.
If I throw it to desire, can it hurt me?
Okay, so that should be pretty much everything that we need to do for that to save the cosmetic overrides to the character file, so that way they basically are saved to the player. I don't think I did need to do anything else. Actually, yeah, just a couple more things here. And it's just that right there. End of, so we know it's 18, so we're gonna go 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, so 26, and yeah, I'll be back when excuse me, I'll be back when I have this well, I guess when I test it to show you guys that it actually worked, because there's really no way, well actually, I mean, here, I'll just do it now actually. So what this is basically going to do is it's going to write to the character file now a new set of strings called cosmic overrides, and it's going to set it's, you know, they're just going to be there, so now when the player logs in again, if they have overrides, it will it should work. You know, it should save or whatever. It should set however you want to say it. You know, they should still have the overrides. They're not going to go away because they logged out. Put it that way. Yeah, while the server is loading up here, and I'm just showing this little final showcase. I'm not very good at making coding tutorials, as you guys can probably tell. So just kind of bear with me on it. I know it's they're probably painstaking to watch, but just bear with me. They will get better over time, I promise, just like everything else. But also, I'm going to be releasing my my server to the public, like the source code and stuff. It is currently being hosted, so you guys can actually play it. Which I'll also leave the link to the live client. Well, I'll leave the link to the Discord in the description as well, but you can get the live client from there. Another thing is, you kind of have to bear with me on the updates because the internet connection here that I have at my home is not that great. So, I know it's not an excuse for slow updates, but it just means that to upload the server to the VPS is, like, the updated server to the VPS does take a little bit of time. So, you just have to bear with me on that. So, but I am usually pretty active with this. If I'm not active on this one, I'm active on my other RSPS, which, again, I mean, you can get a hold of me even through. If I'm not on here, you can still get a hold of me through the game. If I'm like on my RSPS coding or whatever, because Discord or something just to those servers. Or I mean, you can simply just use the command text owner, or even message me on Discord directly. You can always get a hold of me there. Anyway, so the server is loaded up, and I'm walking around fine, which is a good sign. Every time you do any kind of character file updates, if your player cannot walk, or equip something, or use something, that's usually a bad sign. Usually means something bad happened. But typically, if you can walk around and interact with objects, and teleport, and do whatever, usually it's a good sign. So let's just minimize all this stuff quick, and I'll pull up my text document, or not my text document. I'll pull up my data folder, which has my DB players, and I'll go to my character file, and we will see that there is indeed oh yes, so now I see the overrides. Actually, I forgot. I have excuse me, I have walk overrides. We have zombie walk and drunk walk, which those two I actually have unlocked, so I can use both of them. So anyway, as you can see right here, it worked. Cosmic overrides and then cosmic overrides. I just pet peeve of mine. I want that to be underneath rather than like that. It makes it look nicer. So that's a simple fix, which we'll do that right now. So we open up Eclipse again, and it's as simple as doing this. So I just forgot to. Bam, done. Alright, so that's going to be the end of this video. Stay tuned for part 2, where I actually teach you guys how to set cosmetic overrides to the characters, or to, for the players. Right now you can go ahead and manually do that through your character file, but that's tedious. So, next video, part 2 of this video actually, I will be uploading a way for the players themselves to actually access it. Maybe through like a donator shop, or a vote shop, or loyalty point shop, or something like that. I mean, I feel like cosmic overrides are something that should be not easily obtainable. Like they should be worth something, I guess, in the game, because they are pretty nice. It's a nice little feature, I guess. Maybe in a part 2, I'll also include how to add like override tokens, so you can make them, you can even make them tradable. Or maybe I'll say that for part 3, or maybe I won't do it all. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, guys, that's been this video. That's been coding tutorial number 2, how to do cosmic overrides. I'm working on a coding tutorial number 3 on how to code a lottery system minigame. Not the typical lottery system that you see in a lot of servers. Like, you know, you donate, you pay 5 mil into the pot, and whoever, you know, at the end of a certain time period or whatever, or when the pot reaches a certain amount, it draws. That's not the lottery system I'm coding. Sorry, I'm having a hard time talking tonight for some reason. The lottery system I'm coding, which I'm going to be showcasing, is, or well, also not just showcasing, but also teaching you guys how to write, is also a it's like a lottery ticket system where you purchase numbers, and if your numbers are picked, so there could be multiple winners basically. And if there's multiple winners, then the pot gets split amongst how many winners. So, guys, stay tuned for that one, I guess. Stay tuned for another Road to Max series, I guess. I really should start uploading more often for this server to keep it relative. Don't really know why I stopped uploading so much. I guess I got busy. You know, life happens. But with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something from this. And if you guys want to use this base as a starter to code servers, or to code your own server, you're more than welcome to. I don't ask for any credits. I just ask for a simple thanks in the comments. I know this base really isn't the best to work with, but it's actually one of the easiest to work with. A lot of the code has been rewritten to make it a lot more simpler to understand what's going on, so it's a great starting base. I mean, it's a wonderful starting base. I've been working on this server for 11 years now at this point, so there's really, I mean, the possibilities are endless with this server. It's so easy to code. Anyway, thank you for watching. You guys have a great day.